Last week marked the 70th anniversary of the armistice that ended hostilities in the Korean War. That conflict holds crucial lessons for today, but will our leaders grasp them? Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. Fighting in the Korean War, which began in June 1950, when the Communist North invaded the South, came to a close when an armistice was signed on July 27, 1953. Over 2 million people, civilian and military, lost their lives, including nearly 40,000 Americans. The new border between the two parts of Korea wasn't much different than it was when the war began. Our decision to intervene, which brought in help from numerous allies, saved the South from conquest by the North. The war was almost lost at the start, but we engineered an astonishing turnaround that pushed the North Koreans out of the South. China then made the decision to enter the war, which it did months later. Here is where the controversies begin to swirl that last until this day. At first, the U.S. decided to liberate the North from its communist rulers. As Allied forces reached the Yalu River, separating North Korea from China, Beijing moved in massive armies. Their offensive sent us into retreat that didn't stop until much of the South was in Chinese and North Korean hands. Our commander, General Douglas MacArthur, wanted to go bomb Chinese supply lines in China itself and have our forces retake the North. We launched an offensive that pushed communist forces out of the South. But President Harry Truman and his national security team decided to seek negotiations, and the offensive was halted. Truman rightly fired MacArthur for insubordination when the general refused to follow orders. 2 years of fruitless negotiations followed, as the U.S., South Korea, and Allied forces suffered thousands of casualties. In 1953, a new president, Dwight Eisenhower, made clear that one way or the other, including perhaps using nuclear weapons, that the war had to be concluded. Until then, the communists thought they could win by wearing us down. An armistice was concluded. The conclusion is clear. We should have pushed into the North. We need only have taken enough of the North, including its capital, Pyongyang, to leave a rump state incapable of military action, while providing a meaningful buffer with China. We never would have faced the nuclear-armed North Korea of today that not only threatens the South, but also with its missiles, Japan, and soon enough the U.S. itself. The lesson would have been unmistakably plain. Aggression doesn't pay. The Korean War experience holds a crucial caution for the war in Ukraine today. No Korean-like division should be permitted in that country. All of it should be cleared of Putin's occupiers, including Crimea. A decisive Putin defeat is a must. Xi Jinping and Iran might then take note. The U.S. and the free world will, however belatedly, resist their aggression. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions. I look forward to being with you soon again.